I've gotten a couple of emails from students who are expressing some anxiety regarding MLA formatting. I'm not actually going to show you MLA formatting. Instead, I'm going to guide you toward finding the answers you need for yourself. And what you learn in this video, you can actually apply to APA formatting in another class. So if we want to know how to use MLA formatting, let's go to a reliable source. We start on Google, and I like to use the OWL at Purdue. And since we're looking for MLA formatting, I'll type in MLA. Here we get the OWL at Purdue's MLA Formatting and Style Guide. Now, really, you don't have to learn that much about MLA at all. And take your time and learn how to navigate this website and all of the instructions it gives you. So here we are, we've got our MLA Style and Formatting Guide. When it comes to MLA format and documenting your sources, there are two things to consider. Number one would be your in-text citation, and number two will be the works cited entries. Let's begin with the in-text citations. I would say it's probably best to begin with the basics. Now, you'll want to go through and read this for yourself. I'm not going to do that for you. But as you scroll down here, you'll notice that this page is broken into subheadings that kind of guide you. Notice, as we go down, we see you might be dealing with a print source with a known author. Well, if you're watching this video, it's probably because you're struggling with citing sources, the stories for our class that you're reading online because you don't have the print version of the book. So obviously this one won't help you. So let's scroll down until we find something that will help. Notice we keep seeing the word print, and if we're reading it online, it's not in print, so these won't help us. Let's keep looking. Well, as we get down here, eventually, I bet we're going to find something helpful. Hey, look, this could help. Non-print sources or sources from the internet. Well, I'm not going to read this to you. I wanted to show you that if you're careful and patient and you use this resource properly, you will find answers to everything you need. For example, look at this. It straight up tells sometimes writers are confused with how to craft parenthetical citations for electronic sources. Yeah, it's in there. They tell you how to figure this stuff out. You see, you don't have to learn MLA. You just have to know where to look to get a reliable answer. I recommend you definitely go through the in-text citations, the basics, and look at formatting quotes, because you might not know this, but there are different ways to format poetry versus prose, meaning sentences, and there are different ways to format quotes depending on how long they are, and it's up to you to know that stuff. Now, the next part of MLA documentation would be the works cited list. Now, as I mentioned, if you're watching this, you're probably not using the textbook, and that's why you're struggling a little bit. Well, so that means if you're not actually using the textbook, it wouldn't make sense to click on books. How about electronic sources, since you're probably reading the stories on the internet? Just like we did in the in-text citation page, let's scroll down until we find a subheading that fits our needs. So we scroll down until we find something that works. So we've got all of this stuff, databases, and there's probably a lot of stuff in here that doesn't make sense to you. Citing an entire website, I don't think you're reading any entire websites for my class. Course and department websites, again, you're not reading any course and department websites, a page on a website, an ebook. Well, some of you might think you're reading an ebook. Chances are you're not, and here's how you might know that. So we scroll down here, note, look what an ebook is, according to MLA standards. It's a publication that's made specifically for some kind of an ebook device like a Kindle, but that's not what most of you are using. Now, if you are, you would follow the ebook standards. However, if you're citing book content from an ordinary web page with a URL, use the a page on a website format above. So we scroll up and here it is, a page on a website. This is what you would use for your works cited entry for the stories for my class if you haven't gotten the textbook yet. Now all of this boils down to just being efficient and familiar with a reliable source to teach you anything you could possibly need to know about MLA, rather than me spoon-feeding you a bunch of MLA rules that will be obsolete next time they update the MLA. And we're due for an update in the next year or so. So whatever I teach you about MLA will be moot in about a year. But this website will always be relevant. So get used to navigating this because it could be useful in my class and in other classes because the OWL also has a similar website for APA. Okay, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or catch me before or after class.